Hi guys, Alan here. Welcome back to the channel. I thought I'd just have a little chat with you today about the benefits of running to your fitness regime. I'm sure the case is for many of you, that you've had a lot more time on your hands due to the lockdown over the recent 4 months. And the way that you can approach this situation that we've been through is you can either see it as being a negative, or on the other side you can use the situation as a positive and an opportunity to try and recreate a better version of yourself. And maybe part of that would be getting back into your fitness again. Fitness has always been part of my life, so I've never gone a period in my life really when I haven't done training, even maybe when I wasn't eating as healthily as I should have been doing, and maybe living a life that was a little bit more full on, especially when I was younger. In the background there was always this consistency of keeping my fitness going. But particularly during this period that we're going through now, I've had a lot more time to concentrate on my fitness and actually to resurrect something that I used to do a lot more in the past, which is my running. So I've started running again during this period to supplement the physical conditioning work that I do. And I've got to the stage now, 4 months in, where I'm running 10k runs maybe 3-4 times a week, which is significantly more than I had been doing before when I was just doing it sporadically. And I can honestly say that one of the things that I've noticed when I'm doing running on a regular basis, no matter what my general fitness regime is that I always feel at optimum fitness when I've got running included as part of my regime. That would vary from person to person, but that's my experience anyway, is I have to be doing those kind of middle distance runs to feel as though I'm psychologically and physically at the optimum that I can be. I've noticed also that during this period a lot of people have decided to take up their running again, and that's great, but you've got to be careful as well, especially if you're starting from scratch, if you're 40 years of age or over and you haven't run for a long time, or you've never done any consistent running in your life. One thing that I would definitely recommend is that you get physically checked out first before you embark on a running regime. Have an MOT, get your blood pressure checked, get your blood works checked, just so that you know that everything's okay, so that when you embark on your running program, you know that as good as possible that everything's okay before you get started. Especially once you get over 40, you can be harbouring a condition, whether it be high blood pressure or whatever, without realising it. And by starting a running program, you exacerbate a problem that's there that you know nothing about, and that's the last thing you want to happen, is to find out the hard way that you've got a condition. So I always recommend, guys, get checked out first before you start on anything. The key then, of course, is to not dive straight into doing middle distance runs or anything too challenging, but to build things up gradually so that you can acclimatise to the new impositions that you're putting onto your body in terms of running. Running is very, very demanding. So tips that I can give with regards to getting back into things: if you haven't run for a long time, maybe start with power walking first. I've already uploaded a video to the channel about the benefits of power walking. That would make a tremendous difference to your fitness if you haven't been doing it. And you can use that as the first stage to getting into more committed running. What I would start with from scratch is power walking, maybe over a period of 3 to 4 weeks. And then as you start to feel stronger and more confident, you can start to up the levels in terms of maybe introducing a little bit of jogging into your power walk. So typically if you're doing an hour's power walk, maybe you could power walk for 20 minutes, run for 5 minutes. Power walk for 20 minutes, run for 5 minutes, taking it very, very slowly to start with, so that you can slowly start to build up your strength and your endurance. You can also get straight into the running, but obviously you want to do shorter distances first and then gradually build up the distances, maybe starting with a 2 or 3 kilometre run, building up to 5 kilometres, maybe with the goal of getting up to 10 kilometres over time. The longest that I've ever run, I'm not a huge distance runner. Over the years, obviously, I've trained people who have been marathon runners, ultra endurance athletes as well, triathletes. That's something personally that I've never really aimed for. I haven't got a great desire to do something like that. My running, in terms of the way that I look at it, is it's very much something to complement my general fitness. So I never really run over 10 kilometers on a training run, for sure. That would be my longest kind of distance. I have done half marathons in the past, and quite frankly I found that challenging enough. I mean, that's a longer distance. I'm sure if you've done a half marathon you can do a marathon, but as I say, as it is at the moment, I don't really have a great desire to do that. I'm looking at the running more from the perspective of complementing your holistic health and well-being and general fitness. So I would start with a goal of maybe looking at getting to 10k as an upper limit to start with. If you're the kind of person then who wants to take it further, obviously you can do it from that base. Make sure you've got the right running gear as well. You know, you might want to invest in proper running gear because it does make a huge difference, especially in the summer months. We're in July now, and to have the right gear so that your clothing is breathing properly as you're sweating, etc., I think is very, very important, so that you don't feel uncomfortable on a run. Running can be challenging enough as it is, but if you're running along and you're covered and dripping in sweat and feeling uncomfortable, it doesn't exactly encourage you to go out and do the next run next time. So make sure you've got high quality gear, and also of course making sure that you've got the right running shoes for you as well. Very, very important. I would definitely recommend getting shoes fitted properly so that you know that you've got the absolute right size shoes to fit yourself when you're running. Again, if you're feeling uncomfortable when you're running, or if you're creating blisters, ultimately it's going to stop you in your tracks and you're not going to be able to progress. So it's worth putting that little bit of effort into to getting a good shoe. Now, when we went into lockdown about 4 months ago, I invested in a new pair of running shoes. I've used many running shoes over the years, but I invested in a pair of Brooks. It's the first pair of Brooks running shoes that I've ever worn. This is the Ghost 12 model. And I can honestly say, and I'm not saying this because I'm getting sponsored by Brooks, this is a completely neutral, I'm just giving you a review of my experience. Brooks is possibly the best shoe that I've ever used, the Ghost 12. Absolutely comfortable, very light, but at the same time they feel robust enough to take your weight as you're coming down on them. The Ghost 12 is more of a street running shoe, so it's not really designed for gravel. You can see the tread there, light grit, for sure. So round here in Bavaria, say for instance, there's a lot of off-road trails that you can go on, and I like doing a little bit of trail running as well because it varies things a little bit and challenges your body in a different way. The tread on this particular shoe, I would say, is only for very light grit. If you were running on more gravelly surfaces, you would probably get a shoe, cross shoe, that would give you a much better traction on grit, but for light grit this is absolutely super. In terms of the running style that this suits, I'm a neutral runner, so I don't over supinate. Supinating is when you come down on the outside of your foot, and I don't over pronate, which is where you come down on the inside of your foot. If you suffer with those conditions, whether it be pronation or supination, you'd want to get a shoe that compensates for the excess that you have. This particular shoe is more for a neutral runner, and the reviews that I've looked at online as well tends to indicate that. So if you're a normal runner where your foot doesn't go either too far outwards or too far inwards when you're running, this is an ideal shoe for you. As I say, I've been using it for about 4 months now, the Brooks, and very, very happy indeed with these, to the point now where I think I'll be sticking with these for a good while for sure. 4 months in as well, there's hardly any wear on there, on the tread, looking good. The uppers, no excessive wear at all either, and I think they look pretty stylish as well. Very, very nice shoe, very, very happy with those. Especially once you get over 40, guys, like myself as well. I'm 57 coming up to 58. What I've found is that I've got older is that it's really beneficial to make sure you get adequate rest in between running sessions as well. So, you know, if you're running 3 10Ks a week like I am at the moment, try and take 1-2 days rest in between runs so that you've got full recovery. I found that when I was in my 20s and 30s, I could run on consecutive days and it didn't really have any adverse effects. Now that I'm in my 50s, I start to get aches and pains and twinges. You need that little bit of recovery in between so that your body can repair, so that rather than making you weaker, your running's going to make you stronger in the long run. So guys, remember, get yourselves checked out medically before you do any running. Gradually build things up. I'm going to be talking in a lot more detail about the kind of regimes that you can introduce with your running in future videos, but this was just more of an overview, maybe to get you started and to get you motivated to get going. I mean, I found that my body weight I've leaned out a lot during this lockdown since I've been doing this running, so I can thoroughly recommend it. Remember though, don't just do running. Running on its own isn't going to do it for you. It's very, very important you do resistance training as well. I've already posted a couple of workouts on the channel with resistance work that you can do with bands. Oh, and also the gyms have opened again here in Munich. So I might do a couple of videos as well from the gym to show you the kind of work that I do in the gym when I go there as well. The idea being, moving forward, that you've got lots and lots of options of things that you can do to enhance your fitness. Good luck, keep moving onwards and upwards, and I'll see you on the next one, guys.